Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back. Happy November. This is a new month with new goals, new intention, new energy. And today's video, I want to talk about like 3 tips for midlife identity shift, right? For those who are in their 40s, 30s, this video is for you. And for the ladies that are in their 50s and 60s, this video is also for you. It doesn't really matter what age you're at. So I'm in midlife, right? So 50 and over, I call that midlife, right? But I feel like the 50s are the new 40s. I saw on the internet somebody said, no, 50s are the new 30s. I'm like, okay, now. Okay. Let's not go too far. But anyway, I thought it was funny and I thought it was cute. But today I'm going to give you 3 tips for midlife identity shift, right? And the first tip I want to discuss is about getting clear. And a lot of people are like, well, how do I get clear? Well, for me, this is what I've been doing. I'm going to share what's helping me out. I'm looking and I'm sitting and I'm getting quiet and I'm thinking about, okay, at this age, I'm going to say age 55. I'm not 55, but at age 55, what is the goal? Where do I want to be doing? What do I want to be doing? Right. So you want to think about that so you can get clear. What do you want your life to look like? What do you want to work or your business? If you have a business, what do you want that business to look like? Right. What do you want your lifestyle to look like? So get clear about it. Get really clear. Get detailed about it. And then make you a list, right? Make you a list and write out the list. And what I've been doing is when I write my list, I pick 3 to 5 tasks I can work on per day, right? So I can get to that main goal, that final outcome. So that's what I've been doing. I've been thinking about like what it is that I want my life to look like at a certain point, and then I've been making a list. Like what do I need to do to get there, right? And then I've been breaking down my list by task. What are the most important tasks for me to do every day so I can get that final outcome when I get to that age of 55, right? So that's one thing you want to do. You want to get really clear. Start daydreaming. Start, looking at Pinterest to get inspired, right? Get really creative when you're thinking about how you want to get clear. Get clear on where you want to go, right? See that end result first. And then you kind of have to backtrack and then think about, well, how am I going to get there? Do I need to take a class? Do I need to move, right? So you start preparing for where you want to be, right? So the first thing you want to do is get clear. And then the second tip is you got to decide what matters. Number 2, you got to decide what matters to you the most. um, People are at different stages in their life. Some people are making a shift in their career, in their business. Maybe they're shifting and they're moving to another part of the world or the country or states. Who knows what people are? People are at different points in their life. It could be maybe they're thinking about their finances and how they want their finances to look in from 10 to 20 years, right? Everybody's on a different path. Everybody has a different journey. So decide what matters to you, right? What matters to me most is making sure that I set my family up to win, making sure I set myself up to win, right? What matters to me most is making sure I'm doing purpose-filled work, right? I want to do work that I love to do and is enjoyable and I get joy from doing it and I feel good about the work that I'm doing. So I want to set myself up to where I'm doing work that I enjoy, that I feel purposeful, and I'm helping and serving people. So I know that whatever I'm going to end up doing in the next few years, I'm going to be, aligning to that purpose. I'm going to be helping and I'm serving people, and, helping people, grow and elevate too. So decide what matters to you most, right? Don't look at anybody else's life, right? Because this is all about deciding what works for you and your family. So decide what matters most. And then number 3, let's go into number 3. You want to do the things that impact your life in a positive way. You want to do the things that impact your life in a positive way. So this is like the daily tasks, right? You want to do things that's going to impact, that's going to move you forward towards your dream, your goal, right? Or your purpose. So do the little things, right? The day ins and day out. And it may seem a little repetitive, right? But it's okay because we know we're doing these things that are going to impact later for us, right? So we know, say, for example, you know that you want a certain amount of money. So what are you going to do to get there? How are you going to set yourself up? How are you going to show up? One of the things you could do is you could start tracking your expenses, track your income, right? Maybe you want to reduce some of your expenses, right? So you can look at ways where you can reduce your expenses so you can take that extra money and put it in a high yield savings account, right? Because you have a financial goal that you're trying to reach, whatever your number is, because everybody's numbers are different, and that's fine. But you definitely want to do things that impact your life in a positive way. So one of the things that I've been doing is like, okay, let me see where I can, take away this expense and maybe put it into a high yield savings account. Or maybe I can take this extra money and I can put it into a stock or ETF, right? So I'm looking at ways I can make my money can make more money for me without having to put in that hard um, effort and that hard labor and that hard work. So that's one of the things I'm doing in my midlife identity shift, right? I'm working at what I can reduce in expenses so I can take that money and make it work for me, right? Make those dollars work for me. And that's what I've been doing. That's what I've been really thinking about since I am a woman over 50, no longer in my 40s. I've been thinking about like what midlife identity shift I can do to make the greatest impact. To make the greatest impact. And so that's one of the things that I am doing. I'm also um, going back into personal growth and development. So I have returned back to school. So that's another thing I'm doing in my midlife identity shift. I'm educating myself. I'm pouring back into myself, right? And I'm doing that by going back to school. But for self care, I'm really, really spending more quality time like resting, right? Because, we're so busy with all that's on our to do list, right? We do so much in one day. But one I notice is like, hey, I really need to prioritize more self care. So that's another thing that I'm doing. I'm pouring back into myself. I'm making sure I really nurture myself, right? I'm really paying attention to that now that I'm in my 50s. Now, I started self care in my 40s, right? But now that I'm in my 50s, it's like another level of self-care. I'm on another level of self-care. I'm making sure I'm getting the proper rest. I'm really, really mindful of what I'm eating and put inside my body. I'm really mindful about when I move my body, how often I move my body, whether it's walking or going to the gym. So that's what I wanted to come on here and share with you guys, that even though you are in your 40s, your 30s, your 50s, your 60s, your 70s, it doesn't matter what age, we all can do this identity shift. We can sit and think about, like, okay, what is our next goal in this period, in this space and time, right? Anywho, that's what I have for you today. I hope you enjoy this video this month of November. I'm going to try to post a video a week in November. So let's see how this goes. So bear with me. And for those who are ready to really, make their identity shift and they just need to be held accountable, I do have a group. It's called the Lock In and Show Up Accountability Group, where we go in there in the group and we look at the different ways that we can keep ourselves accountable, keep ourselves productive, right? As we reach these, milestones in our life and these goals that we want to achieve, right? So that's what the group is all about. Inside the group, we do a little Reiki energy healing, right? Because we want to release the block and stuck and stagnant energy that's keeping us from being productive, for showing up for ourselves. And then we do some meditation, and I go over some tips and strategies that I hope assist you guys and help elevate your life, right? And then I always tell the team this hour should be used to, write to journal, right? You can use it to journal or to write out your to-do list or whatever you like, right? So with that being said, thank you so much for tuning into this video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate everything that you guys, I appreciate your comments, guys, and I appreciate the shares. Make sure to share it out to your network, and I will see you back here on the next video. Talk to you later. Have a great day.